Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. What's up? I'm Mackenzie. How y'all doing? Today I'm doing a video that has been kind of frequently requested on my Twitter. If you follow my Twitter, then you know I went on a Niall Horan adventure this summer. I went to multiple of his concerts and they were in multiple different states, and I had to take airplanes to some of them and trains and my car, which is gas, and you need the concert tickets and you need the plane tickets and you need money for food and hotels, and it obviously added up to be a decent amount of money. I didn't use money. I didn't take money like out of my savings for it. Okay, this whole video is just gonna be about how I budgeted to do that. Everyone on Twitter calls it for tour. I know I did not go on tour. I was not on stage or anything, but I went to a good amount of concerts where, you know, you could say I went on tour. I didn't though, but you know, if you come from Twitter, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and if not, please don't hate on me. It's just what we call it. I don't know. People, okay, my savings is like supposed to be untouchable. I'm not supposed to take anything out once I put it in there. That's always just how I've thought about it. It's not that I was putting money aside for it, but I was, I don't know, I was. I created a second bank account. I don't really know how to like go in depth detail about this. I created a second bank account at a different bank that I still to this day call my play account. So every paycheck I get, I try and keep, so I've got my regular bank, this now play account bank, and my regular bank has a checking account and a savings account linked to it. So I try and keep my regular bank's checking account at around $100 every week, just for like gas. That one's specifically now for necessities. Gas, coffee, if I get coffee in the morning, oil changes, like car repairs. It's like necessities that you kind of like pay for here and there every day, you know? And my savings. This one over here, my play account, is for exactly what it sounds like. Pleasure. It's for going out with my friends, it's for getting drinks, it's for stuff that's not a necessity. So how I determine how much money goes in each account is when I get my paycheck, say my real account was like down to $75 because I got gas or something, I would put that back up. I would keep that at 100, so already 25 out of my paycheck is staying in that account. Then I would put about 75% of my paycheck into my savings. Now this is all before my student loans kicked in. This is all before I still was paying my monthly car payment and my monthly car insurance payment. But at the time, those were my only two payments. And my car payment comes out of my savings and my insurance comes out of my checking. So, but because it's only once a month, I just had to make sure I had the money in those accounts at the time that the payments come out. So, I wasn't worrying about student loan payments at that time. Now, currently, I'm not budgeting that exact same way because I do have my payments, but we're talking about tour here, so I'm telling you how I budgeted for that at that time. So I put about 75% of my paycheck, whatever was the remaining amount. So if my debit account was at 50 bucks, I'd leave 50 in there. I would always try and have my checking account at $100. And then whatever remaining from my paycheck, I'd put 75% of that in my savings and 25% of that in my play account. And depending on how big the paycheck was that week, that would all factor in how much like dollar amount would go in each account, you know what I mean? I had it for a few months before I really started using it. So it had added up to a decent amount, and I really focused on trying to only use that for the 2018 trips to go see Niall, and I did a pretty good job of doing that. And I just really think having a set aside having money set aside for pleasure instead of business is a really smart idea. It's worked for me now almost a year. It's been March 2018 is when I opened that account, and have been using it ever since. And literally since March 2018, I have not taken anything out of my savings. That is including the entire summer of 2018, traveling for Niall and seeing Niall that many times. That is including that. I did not take anything out of my savings. I'm still putting stuff in my savings. So while I was on tour and while I was doing all of this stuff and needed all that money for that stuff, I was still putting money in my savings. I don't know, in my brain, my savings is like a super important thing for me. I think my biggest help in budgeting would be creating, you don't necessarily need to go to another bank like I did. I don't know why I did it that way. I would just say have a designated set aside money for what you want and not what you need, and then what you need and not what you want. Working with how big your paycheck is weekly, mine is always different. I get paid hourly, so mine always fluctuates. So it really just did depend on how much I worked in a week and all that stuff. Whatever side stuff I did, like babysitting, or I also use the apps Poshmark and Mercury to sell old clothes, to sell old stuff. Duke is barking, I apologize. Any money that I made on the apps and any money that I made babysitting went straight into my Play account. If it was a side gig, if it was something on the side other than my actual job that I willingly, voluntarily did just for money, I put it in my Play account. Anything from actual work and my actual job was more of like, you know, my bill money and stuff. So I really suggest using the apps Poshmark and Mercury. Go through your closets, sell stuff that you have either never worn or don't wear anymore. Mercury, you can also sell. Poshmark's really just for clothing. Mercury's for like everything. I've sold so many phone cases that I don't use anymore on there. You can sell electronics on there. You can sell literally anything on Mercury. And it's really easy to use, and I've made over $2,000 on the apps, so go do that. And yeah, you know, babysit, dog sit, house sit, whatever you can do for whoever you know. And all of the stuff that you're willingly like, yes, I'm doing this because I want money. Not like I'm doing this because I'm scheduled, you know, at work. I just put straight into my Play account. If you have more questions and you want me to answer them, or even if it's not about necessarily about tours specifically and it's just more money-wise or like budget-based questions, let me know either in the comments or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll put my Twitter in the description, and I'm pretty much always on Twitter. So I'll put my Twitter down below. Just let me know. Let me know how you're feeling. If you liked this, give it a thumbs up. You have more questions, ask me them. I'll answer them. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos weekly.